vlogging in the dark. It's been a while since my last vlog. Insert excuses here. But this vlog will make up for it. It's jam-packed with lots of stuff, including the intro to Toronto StrongFit work. Why do I always say that wrong? Intro to StrongFit Toronto workshop, and me dishing out tough love about diet, because you asked. So this was the first intro to StrongFit Toronto workshop taught by me and Gus this past September. Many of my followers traveled far distances
Let me take the marbles out of my mouth.
To attend this event, and Gus and I were so excited to meet everyone.
That gap between your shoulder and your ear, as big as possible. So those traps are not working so hard. You can bring them in a little bit, yeah? 4 little cycles of
We ran out of dumbbells.
For a grand total of...
Transcend to another level. Gotta push the drive, gotta push the pedal. Kinetic waves never settle. Transcend.
To have the opportunity to show others how StrongFit can improve so much more than just movement patterns, that really excites me. Especially showing people how you can use movement to express strong emotions. It's game-changing. 140 pounds, you got this, Jody. Coach Lauren is helping her. Yes! One of my favorite moments was doing the sandbag carries with everybody, as well as the team dinners. It was so much fun.
To another level. Transcend to another level. Push it, push it. Gotta push the drive, gotta push the pedal. Push it, push it.
Oh yeah, look at her teres majors. That helps me establish my mobility. Then for the second set, I'm going to act on the new mobility that I just established for myself. So I'm going to exhale through pursed lips. Then for the third set, I'm going to go back and assess to see if that improved my mobility or not. Wait, what did I just do? Stop.
Kinetic waves never settle. Transcend to another level. It's feeling like the world is in a dying need. Feeling like the last of a dying breed. We in the last days. It feels like Armageddon. Prophetic with the false
Pec sticks at the Globo Gym. Big shout out to my sponsor BSN for providing the swag bags. Everybody loves these crisp bars. Can you see them? How about now? Shout out to Jackie Perez for traveling all the way to Toronto for this event and for eating my god-awful dehydrated grapes. Everyone, including my cats, loved hanging out with you. Why are they so puffy and why are they crunchy? What the fuck?
I think that one dried out too much.
Is Coco doing your hair? Yeah. You stand up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, do you think you could from there?
No way.
Yes! So good, so good.
Oh, this is a lot weaker.
Yes! Oh, and guess what? Gus and I are going to be teaching another Intro to StrongFit workshop in February 2019. Turns out many of my followers live in Texas. So since you all asked, we're going to deliver. We're just firming up the dates and the location. Once we know, we will get you the official StrongFit link for the event. What's new and exciting? I just launched my Learn to Do the Splits program. In case you didn't know, I learned how to do the splits at 40 years of age. Yes, it's crazy, it blows my mind, but it is possible. My program is the true story of how I tackled this. So I teach you how I use the principles of StrongFit as well as concepts I learned in physiotherapy school to learn the splits. How long did it take you? As long as it took. It took me about a year. Prior to that, I couldn't even bend over and touch my toes, and trying to open my legs was like trying to open a clam with lockjaw. Now, I don't recommend trying to learn the splits by passively forcing yourself into the splits. I always say this, you don't necessarily learn the thing by doing the thing. What the hell does that mean? It means that if your body's not allowing you to go into the splits, there's a reason why, and that's what we need to address. So that's why my program focuses on building your structure, your ability to stabilize your spine and pelvis in space, because if your pelvis Presley, like your pelvis is moving all over the place, then how the hell are you gonna do the splits? And then once you have that under control, oh wait, is this the S pyramid? Yes, it is. So once we have our structure and our stabilization, then we can specialize and work on mobility. My program prioritizes mobility not flexibility. There is indeed a difference between the two, and I teach that to you. So if the split sounds like a party trick that you want to add to your repertoire, then click the card to start your splits odyssey with me today. Next, diet. I believe we all have a soulmate diet. Once you find it, you're golden. When you find a dietary approach that suits your eating personality, your schedule, and you can apply it to real life scenarios, well then dude, you are rocking and rolling. So if what you are currently doing is working for you, meaning you have no issues maintaining your weight and you have a normal relationship with food, well, dude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think the biggest mistake people make when they embark on a diet is having dangerous expectations. So many people expect dramatic weight loss to happen, but I don't think weight loss is necessarily a good gauge of what defines a successful or healthy dietary approach. All diets fail me when my mental state is off. If I'm sad or anxious, then it's game over. I start eating my emotions. I like to unload emotional baggage using movement. So that can range from expressing emotions through pole dancing, or it could be going for a long jog or a sandbag carry just to organize my thoughts, get my shit together. Or it could be expressing anger by violently and aggressively tossing sandbags. But what if the diet is actually contributing to anxiety? Then what? Well, I know for me, when that happens, I start to eat the entire house. I become an emotional eater. Oh, I just love it when my camera turns off mid-sentence. Where was I? So for me, a diet causes anxiety when there are a lot of food rules, especially extreme food rules. Have you ever wondered why I have an 8-pack 365 days of the year and I'm turning 41 next month? It's because I avoid diet rules. I made a list of stupid food rules that I don't think you should follow. Ready? Segregating macros, demonizing macros, slashing your calories, cycling your calories, tracking your heart rate and calories burned, tracking your macros every day of your life, rearranging your training schedule to revolve around your macros, buying special elixirs to dump into your coffee, asking the waiter to remove carbs and fats from your protein dinner plate, bringing your own food to restaurants, carrying a cooler. Heads up, people. I've done all that and it didn't work. You know why it didn't work? Because those practices are not sustainable. I've said this many times in many other vlogs, but I'm going to say it again. If what you are currently doing is not something you can see yourself doing 6 years from now, then stop it. It's not a sustainable dietary practice. Oh, but what about the science, the nervous system, all the theory, all the research and statistics? Look, theory is great. I could talk to you all day long about the science. But here's what I have learned from experience. Sustainability and practicality trump science. If you don't know, I'm an intermittent faster, and I have been since 2012. I know that fasting works well for my eating personality because if I eat breakfast, it makes me so nauseous and I oftentimes will immediately throw up the breakfast. It's just not for me. I do prefer to train fasted and I don't want to consume fats during my fast because for me, fasting is a mental break from eating. I don't even want to think about food. I don't need crutches and all this other bullshit in order to get by. If you can't hack fasting for 16 hours, of which 8 of them are spent asleep, dude, you are metabolically inflexible. I do not want food dictating my schedule or my life. I went through that when I was competing in fitness competitions and it did not end well for me. I can't let food run my life. I need to have control over food, not having food controlling me. So that's why I've only followed 2 simple diet rules since 2012. And this has worked for me very well because it's really easy for me to adhere to these. I always break my fast at the same time in the afternoon every single day since 2012. Never earlier. This works very well for me. I'm not hungry during my fast. I am able to achieve appetite satisfaction during my feeding window. Do not ask me how long my eating window is or how often I eat or what my macros are because I don't give a shit. I do very well guesstimating my portions and my macros. I tend to be a creature of habit with food and I believe most of us are. I mean, I have my favorite foods that I like to buy every week at the grocery store. So it's worked quite well for me. There's no pressure on me and that's why I don't end up emotionally eating. 2, moderation. Moderation is something that I learned by initially tracking my calories and macros for a few months. This helped me figure out how to balance my macros in a way that worked the best for me. And once I had it all figured out, then I was able to ditch tracking. I don't think tracking is any way to live. You can't go out on a date in a restaurant and be like, oh, hold on, let me track my bread roll here. Ooh, let me tell you the easiest way to kick butt at moderation. If you have intent when you grocery shop or when you order food in a restaurant, you're gonna kill it. Because here's the reality. If it's in your house, in your fridge, in your pantry, or on your plate, it's going to be in your stomach. Now, I don't make this difficult for myself. I just follow an 80-20 rule. 20% of what I ingest is fun calories. The other 80% would be healthy foods that my body needs to perform well. You know, like fruits, veggies, lean proteins, healthy fats. Moderation also means making food trade-offs. I mean, come on, you can't eat everything or else you'll end up over-consuming, duh. So everything in moderation, even moderation in moderation. So when I say food trade-offs, I mean if I'm eating more carbs that day because that's what I want, then I will back off on the fats. Or if I want to eat more fats that day because that's what I want, then I will back off on the carbs. I like to eat in the late afternoon and evening because my work is done and this is a time when I'm more relaxed and that allows me to digest better. Also, if I'm more relaxed, I'm less likely to emotionally eat. I do follow a high carb diet and I have no issues falling asleep at night. Now, this is what I figured out works the best for me. It doesn't mean it's going to work well for you. A lot of people want to know exactly what I'm doing so they can replicate it, but here's the thing, what I'm doing probably won't work for you, and that's why I don't force my approach down anybody else's throat. It's up to you to experiment to figure out what's going to work for you. I realize most people fail at diets because they're not willing to be their own diet detective. They just want somebody to tell them what to do. They want a paradigm to follow. They want rules. You may have noticed if you follow my Instagram stories that I very rarely talk about my diet. And that's because it's not even a blip on my radar. The only time I talk about it is if somebody actually asks me a question. The people who are always talking about their diet, it's because they're failing. The other reason why I don't like talking about diet is because I realize that trying to change somebody's diet is like trying to change their religion. So unless you ask me for advice, I'm not gonna give you advice. Don't be fooled by all the testimonials you see online. All diets work the first time, especially if you suddenly cleaned up your lifestyle choices. The real test is time. Now, there's a reason why I've been rocking an 8-pack for decades. It's not because my diet is the cure to all diets. It's because I was willing to be my own diet detective. I experimented. I fucked up a lot. I learned from those fuck-ups to devise something that works for me in real life 365 days of the year. So let's go over my final tips, PowerPoint style. 1, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2, stop making your approach to diet bigger than it needs to be. Does the thought of stopping all your current diet bullshittery make you anxious? Of course it does, because you know you will gain weight as soon as you stop. Look, I've been there before. Having your daily exercise and diet choices revolve around your fear of weight regain. That sucks. 3, as long as you're anxious, you will spin your wheels. 4, don't follow a diet with a ton of rules that you know you cannot see yourself following 6 years from now. 6, all diets work. Experiment and figure out what will work for you every single day for years to come. If you can consistently do something that doesn't cause you anxiety, you will end up looking and feeling like $1,000,000. 7, stop relying on someone else to motivate you and tell you what to do. If you cannot find profound intent every day of your life, then you are never going to get started, or you will never finish what you started. Without intent, you will fuck up everything you embark upon. So if you ask me for help with diet, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to give you what I do. Instead, I'm going to teach you how to think for yourself. Yes, I will teach you the science, but I want you to realize that sustainability and practicality always trump science. I have years of experience dieting like a moron. I was a pro fitness model. I competed for a decade in bikini competitions. So you can learn a lot from my mistakes. I'm gonna leave you with a quote from my mentor, Chalene Johnson. I love Chalene Johnson. Research and statistics are great, unless they don't apply to you. Anyhow, I just wanted to let you know that my transformation did not happen overnight. It has been and continues to be an exciting odyssey, rife with intent. I wanted to thank you for being a part of my odyssey and also for letting me be a part of your odyssey. Until next time.